Now, if it's one thing I learned in life, is that nothing is ever easy. Some people, they will say I'm a star, but I wouldn't say that at all. I'm just a guy who went through a lot of trial and error to get where Wait. My what is you doing? You literally taking my whole intro. I know we family and all, but we ain't sharing intros, bruh. Bruh, last time I checked, this was Unguarded episode 1. Not Underrated episode 1. How is you even in this mug? Listen, man, don't worry about all that. Don't take my intro and don't be telling them no bull. Alright, so check it out. Those of you who don't know me, I go by Lonny. Lonny Wade to be exact. Now, you may know me from teaming up with my Cuzzo in high school when we dominated for the Red Raiders. On that team, I was basically the second option, but me and Cuzzo as a duo, wasn't no team in the nation stopping us, even though we lost right before state, but that's besides the point. Look, when Cuzzo announced he was committing to Stanford, I was happy for him. But it was also kind of weird because we had built so much chemistry over that year. And now, I was the #1 option on the team and I had to find a way on my own. I had a lot of D1 offers including Stanford, but I decided to choose a different route. G League Ignite. Now most of you have probably seen a lot of guys come straight out of high school and ended up getting drafted by showcasing their skills on this team. So I figured why not forego college and test my own skills and see if I can make it to the league. I spent a lot of time being the second option while Cuzzo was doing his thing. But now, it was time for me to write my own story and continue my journey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not used to this whole storytelling thing, but I'm gonna try my best to do it how Cuzzo do it. Dang, I get the same sound effects too? That's kinda hard, I ain't gonna lie. So check it out. The OGs should know that me and Cuzzo is two completely different players. I ain't gonna lie, I do not got the vertical he got, but one thing I do got is a nice tray ball. We both do play a lot of defense too. I ain't gonna lie, that's something our old coach tried to implement in our game from the beginning. I also would say that I don't pass as much as he does. I ain't gonna lie, when I get the rock, I'm looking to score that thing by any means necessary. But I don't want y'all to think I'm a selfish player. I actually look for my teammates, but most of the time, by the time I find them, the basket be right there. If at any point y'all see any similarities in me and Cuzzo game, let me know in the comments down below as I drive and get the and one bucket. I think that's how he be saying it at least. So in my first G League game, I ended up putting up 25 points with 6 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Now I ain't gonna lie, I would say that was a pretty decent showing for my first game. But next up, we had to travel to Portland. Keep in mind, I said Portland, but somehow, straight out the gate, drove down to the side and got a Milwaukee buck. Dame Lillard fans should appreciate that bar. I ain't no Damian Lillard though, but I can kinda shoot like him. So to start off my second game, I was going crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, when I made it to the league, I wanted to be known as an elite scorer. So that's exactly what I tried to showcase while I was here in the G League. Now I did struggle with turning the ball over, but I always tried to make up for it on the other end. And I did pull some crazy shots in transition. But like I said, I struggle with turnovers. You see, back with the Red Raiders, Cuzzo was mainly the primary ball handler and I would just catch and look to score. Hey, can y'all guess what I had for breakfast this morning? A Pop-Tart. A mean one too. I did a lot of catch and shoot in high school and I tried to do the same in the NBA. It was my bread and butter. I know how much y'all hear that sound effect in Cuzzo episodes, but you gonna hear it a lot over here. Don't get it twisted though, I can get to the cup too, at will. Another similarity me and Cuzzo have is trying to push it in transition. He taught me that our last year together. He said, the more you push the ball, the better chance you have at scoring easy buckets. And I ain't gonna lie, he was right. In doing that, helped me and my team extend the lead. After I sized up this one dude, I treated him like a little boy as I got the and one lay. Well, it was supposed to be an and one lay, and I increased the lead to 10. But I knew I couldn't do it by myself, so I tried to find open teammates in the corners and on the wing. I had to keep attacking also because this team was not going away, man. I ain't gonna lie, everybody in the G League, they play hard. But it's mainly because everybody trying to get a call up and we all fighting for the same thing. Now my case was different. You see, since I came here straight out of high school, I couldn't get a call up because I didn't get drafted yet. However, that didn't mean I couldn't get drafted if I performed well this season. But we ended up getting the dub by 9 points against this Portland team. And I ain't gonna lie, it definitely was a hard-fought W. Now in this game, I was attacking, so you know I did my thing, and I ended up dropping 40 points. And that was crazy. In my second game, I put up a 40 bomb. Great showing. Now next game, we had a home game against the G League team for the Heat. And I ain't gonna lie, I got straight to it. I was looking in the crowd, I seen Instagram models, and we was at home. You already know I was about to try to do my thing. Up early 5-6, I got the steal, and ended up getting the transition bucket right after that. Now I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. This team was at the bottom half of talent when it comes to talent in the G League. But I didn't care if you was the top team, the bottom team, or whatever. I was finna come in your building or our building and get the dub. And to be honest, you can't underestimate people in the G League because they technically still NBA players, bro. It don't matter what level. But anyway, back to this game. So I started off hot, just like the last game. And I was looking to push the ball in transition, and I got a dunk. Hey! Don't expect nothing crazy from me yet, because like I said, I ain't got the bounce like Cuzzo. I'm just a pure bucket. Now I ended up sitting the whole second quarter because we was basically blowing these boys out the water. But when I got back in the game, I picked up right where I left off. One thing I liked about the coach on this Ignite team, he allowed us to play our game and play free. So that's exactly what I tried to do, while being competitive at the same time. And we ended up getting the dub. And just like Donald Trump pulling up to the hood, them boys never stood a chance. Now I wasn't the leading scorer this game, but I still ended up putting up 27. I know Cuzzo gonna get on my head for not being the leading scorer though, but I was still finding my way. Now this next game, it would be the game where I started to turn a lot of heads and make my case for becoming a potential lottery pick. At this point in time, it was the 5th game in the season, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was starting to feel comfortable in the league now. I already went through the drastic change from high school to league ball, and I was really getting used to it. I don't know what got into me this game, but I was going crazy shooting the ball from the tray. Contested threes, step back threes, really anything. It was a play where I was supposed to cut to the basket, and I just shot it. I'm not gonna lie, they should call this series Don't Try This at Home, because some of these shots I'm taking, if you miss them, your coach might put you on the bench. Hey! So after hitting a couple threes and catching a lob, I ain't gonna lie, I was in the zone. Couldn't nothing stop me. And this game was pretty interesting because me and they point guard was going back and forth. He even ripped me this one time. I ain't gonna lie, I got my get back though. And after I got my get back, I turned the crowd up. Threw my boy a lob, and it gave us the extra spark we needed. The defense was really keyed in on denying me, so I just looked to find open teammates whenever I could. And it started to work. The team as a unit was starting to look dominant again. I never seen a tornado in an arena, but I was definitely putting this dude in a spin cycle like one, as I got the dime to my big man. Coming into the 4th quarter, I was trying to get in them passing lanes and get easy steals. I ended up getting one, and I was wide open for a fast break dunk. And I know it's a little early, and it's 4 minutes left to go, but I hit these boys with the dagger. And after that, that was it. We won the game by a small margin, but we still got the dub. That's all that matters. Our team was starting off the season strong, man. We was 5-0, and it felt like nobody could beat us. And on top of that, your boy ended up dropping a 30-point triple-double. Yeah, I was going crazy, and I was starting to turn a lot of heads, and I was finally beginning to make a name for myself. With the way Cuzzo was balling in high school, I always felt like everybody looked at me as a second option. Like I wasn't good enough to be a first option, and they didn't respect my game. And that's no shade to Cuzzo at all. That's just showing how great he is. But with the way this season then started and this team, I think I got a real shot to get to the level that he at. Make sure y'all boys stay tuned in. And just like that, we back at it like a crack addict. Man, what's good with y'all? I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't gonna do no second episode at first, but y'all was messing with the first one, so I figured, why not continue? I ain't gonna lie, I would fill you in on what happened since we last talked, but it ain't been too much of nothing. I just became a gym rat. You see, it's been an up and down year. I've had my struggles with efficiency, and Cuzzo let me use his court to work on my game. I used to stay in the gym for hours just doing drills. Sometimes I'd be in there shooting like 2,000 shots. At the end of the day, I wanted to get drafted, and the bare minimum wasn't enough. I was finally starting to make a name for myself, but the real question was, could I live up to the hype? And more importantly, could I live up to the family name? I mean, y'all already know what Cuzzo do, y'all see his series. I got a lot of big shoes to fill. But one thing Cuzzo did tell me, just focus on winning and everything else will come to you. And look, right now, we sitting at 6-1. And if we want to keep trending in this direction, we got to keep putting in work. So ironically, the next game we was playing will be up against Cuzzo's former G League team, the Santa Cruz Warriors. Part of me was still wishing he was on this team, so I could see how we match up at the pro level. But you already know what I was gonna do. As y'all can see, the 30 clip is activated early. But this game, you already know what I do. Push the ball in transition and try to get to the cup when I'm not shooting it. I don't know if y'all remember me telling y'all, but every game in the G League is kind of a battle, as I get the tough lay over the defender. But we all fighting for the same thing. Everybody want to go to the league, so they playing hard. But they ain't guarding up enough. Now by the time we were midway through the second quarter, man, I was starting to get my rhythm. I got the rhythm so much y'all wouldn't believe what happened. Hey! I told y'all, I ain't got the bounce like Cuzzo, but best believe I can get up there sometimes. But I also play defense like Cuzzo too, and when I do, it usually leads to some points. And y'all should know me by now. Points is what I'm all about. But my coach also been talking to me about facilitating. And now, I'm actually leading the G League in assists at 5.9. But don't get it twisted. If I feel like I got a pipsqueak guarding me, I'm trying to go to work. I don't want to hear none of that. But in all seriousness, I know I need to get out of that mindset. I mean, who knows? I could probably be averaging 10 assists per game instead of 5.9. And the more I was out there on the floor, the more I started to realize that. So I would look to attack, but when I attacked, I would try to find the open teammate. And even though Cuzzo wasn't on this team anymore, I ain't gonna lie, they was still decent. The backup PG who ended up taking his spot, man, we was going back and forth. But all in all, it wasn't enough. Now midway through the fourth quarter, tragedy was set in as one of their players got hit in the chest and collapsed on the court. Make sure y'all send y'all prayers to that boy. I ain't gonna lie, you never want to see somebody get hurt during the game. And the way he was looking, it ain't look good. Luckily, he was able to walk off the court under his own power. The arena was as quiet as a snow bunny visiting the hood for the first time. And even though that injury routed our momentum a little bit, we still had a game to finish, as I kicked and found an open teammate for the pull-up midi. Now with about 2 minutes left to go, I wanted to seal the deal and get the dagger. So I was just aggressive and I attacked the PG and ended up getting an and one lay. Should have been an and one lay, but that was it. We ended up getting the dub by like 11 points. Now y'all saw in the beginning I had been working on my efficiency, and this is why. I feel like I shot too much this game as I went 11 for 28. I had 31, 8, and 5, but I wasn't happy with this performance. But next game, it was a completely different story. And as y'all saw earlier, man, I'm starting to get up there now. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think that one deserved a sound effect. It was kind of weak. But anyways, we was going against the Pelicans G League team, and I ain't gonna lie, I was cooking like Gordon Ramsay. For the people who look up to me back at home, who maybe want to try to copy my play style, I advise you not. Do not try this at home, cause I do dumb stuff like this and pull in transition. But when you sniper gang Lonny, you can do that. As the game went on, man, I just got deeper in my bag. It was ugly.
Damn! Oh my God!
Wait, we had that sound effect this whole time? I didn't even know that. But I'm telling y'all, I was acting up this game. I even channeled my inner Cuzzo. Hey! Who would have thought that I would be getting a poster dunk?
Damn! Oh my...
Wait, seriously, when did we get that? Why y'all didn't tell me this earlier, chat? Man, I miss out on everything. I ain't gonna lie though. Y'all know one thing I don't miss out on is getting a screen and an open tray ball. Bread and butter, no toast. Midway through the second, it was 24-7. And y'all already know, I was trying to look for that 3 so we can go up by 20. And of course, Sniper Gang Lonny did his thing. And after this play, I really felt like I channeled my inner Cuzzo. Man, I got the steal, and right after that, I got the easy dunk. That is not me. It run in the family, I guess. But since we were up by so much, no offense to the other team, but I figured now it was time to get some practice in. As I looked to find some of my open teammates and get some more assists. I mean, I was making the right read on every play. Pick and roll, I'll just dump it off and we get the easy layup. Headed into the third quarter, I found out Ruby Rose was actually in the crowd, so yeah, I had to show out. And then coach immediately took me out the game and said, "That's enough, little bruh." And that was crazy. I didn't even know I could do that. Coach must not be a fan of IHOP, because I was definitely trying to see what was up with the Pancake House. But next up, we had the Stockton Kings, and I started off the game right, getting a and one bucket. Hey, Cuzzo, that's how you be saying it, bro? And I'm not even gonna try to cap to y'all. It is not 100% from the line. It's more like 88. But to keep it a stack, man, this game against the Kings was the hardest one we done had in a minute. I mean, for a while, it was just back and forth, tit for tat. It was like a boxing match. Every time we threw a punch, they threw a punch right back. But like I told y'all, the G League was full of buckets, so we was kind of getting used to that. But we just kept the defense guessing, pulling more tricks out the hat. And they could not guard. I was hooping. I felt like Kyrie with that 11 on my back. Hey, I ain't go to Stanford, but shout out to Coach Rhyme, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm serious though. This team will not go away, and we cannot break off a sizable lead. And me, I just kept trying to attack because I had an aggressive defender on me, bruh. But luckily, I was able to get around him a few times and get to the cup. And them boys was not trying to let me shoot. They was picking up from like half court. But that was cool, because I just get easy looks to my teammates. Man, I remember this one play I had a crazy assist that I threw from the opposite free throw line. I didn't even know I had arm strength like that. Might have to go to the NFL Combine next year. It seemed like every time I was bringing the ball up, they was picking up at half, bro. It was so annoying. But luckily, I rejected the screen and got an easy dunk out of it. Y'all ever read The Hunger Games? Yeah, I like that series. And I ain't gonna lie, after that dunk, I was definitely catching fire like Katniss Everdeen. I hit this crazy spin move into a jump shot, and after that, I just got activated. But that defense was staying disciplined, man. I mean, I was trying everything in my power to get a shot off, and they was just stopping everything I was doing. But luckily, I was still able to find my teammates every time. And then finally, after giving the ball up, one of my teammates set me a screen, and I finally got a wide open look for a corner 3. Boom! Shout out Peter Griff, that's my dog. Y'all must have thought I was playing when I said I started catching fire. Nah, bro, they literally could not stop me after that. It seemed like every possession, I was either getting a layup, a dunk, a shot, really whatever I wanted. I was just taking whatever the defense gave me though. I think it was just because of that home crowd energy, man. Every time we was at the crib, it was loud in there. And on this next play, I ended up sizing up my defender, and I hit a shot that if somebody would have hit it on me, I would have gave my jersey to my coach and left the arena. But y'all know what type of player I am, and you know what I do. Got the steal, got the ball right back. Double kill. I'm telling y'all, do not try this at home because I definitely had a wide open lane. Hey man, but like Sabrina said, if you could shoot, you could shoot. As I end up getting another steal and got the easy finish at the other end. As the fourth quarter went on, man, the outcome was pretty much decided. I mean, we was just out there waiting for the clock to run out. It was a Family Guy marathon. Cause I got another corner three. Shout out Peter Griff. But anyway, we ended up getting the dub by a sizable deficit. And I ain't gonna lie, I had a 40-point game, but I was still a little shook up about my efficiency. But there was plenty of room to get better. And just like that, we got 3 dubs back to back. You already know what that means, man. We would end up moving on to 9-1. And if we kept this momentum going, it was gonna get scary for the rest of the league. As the season went on, our team was getting better and better. Now last time we talked, we had about 9 wins and 1 loss. But now, we had improved our record to 40-2. And not only were we winning, I was also breaking records in the G League. And after a slow start to the season, I was becoming more efficient and a better player all around. Sometimes I do wonder if the college route would have been better for me. But I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be in the G League. I was learning a lot from the vets that was helping out with the team. Man, if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't even be in this position. Even if they would tell me something I didn't want to hear, I would always try to key into what they were saying and try to learn more. And honestly, I needed it. I mean, y'all see what Cuzzo been doing in the league. I gotta live up to the family standard now. I can't get drafted and be a bust. But speaking of the draft, I began to headline several different draft blogs. The way I've been playing lately had my draft stock rising. And I ain't gonna lie, man, after I seen that, it made me work 10 times harder. In practice, I was starting to show out more than usual. One of the OGs even told me if I keep this up, I might reach that level Cuzzo was at. And that's saying a lot, man. But I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? To come to the G League and write my own story. I know my name gonna always be tied to his because we family. But they gotta know me for my game and not his game. I'm my own person. I love Cuzzo, but I gotta do my thing, man. Now next up, we had a big game against Sharife Cooper and Imani Bates. Now some thought Sharife was the best PG in the league, and we all know how Imani Bates is. But hey, they ain't matched up with me yet. So as soon as it was game time, I knew I had to prove myself. And just like that, it was go time. Now as I mentioned, this was an epic PG duel. So everybody around the league was talking about this, and they was waiting for it. And straight out the gate, our big man got dunked on. Yeah, it was a rough way to start the game. But y'all already know, we got 40 wins and 2 losses. We gotta come in here and just do what we normally do. But Imani Bates, he tried to heat up quick. So we had to come down on the other end and get a bucket. But y'all boys ain't new here, man. As soon as we get the board, we pushing that ball in transition. Hit Sharife with a nice move, and then I went straight to the cup for a light little dunk. I told y'all I ain't got the bounce like that, but I'm starting to get up a little bit. Nothing like Cuzzo though. We got the board and pushed it in transition again, and let me introduce y'all to Sniper Gang Lonny. But y'all already knew what it was though. And at first, I was playing some good defense on Sharife. He was on a little bit of a cold streak at first, but hey, he tough, man. He ended up getting away with a little offensive foul, but he got his first bucket. I don't know how he got away with that, but it is what it is. I was just hoping the refs ain't cheat us this game like they did UConn. But I mean, it's the G League. This ain't college basketball. As I get the nice assist to my big man. And then it was time to cook. 11 up, the quarter almost over. So you know I gotta do what I gotta do. They put their backup PG on me, and I went straight to the cup. Them boys already knew I could shoot, but they forgot I was lightning quick. But hey, for their sake, they better find out fast before this game get ugly. And midway through the second quarter, that's exactly what happened. I mean, we had about a 12-point lead, and then I caught a lob and made it a 14-point lead. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sharife's girlfriend is Ash Cash, and she was in the building. No disrespect, but hey. She gotta come rock with a real shooter. I made eye contact with her after that three, and that's where I really started to heat up. And on the next possession, I got a little back screen from my teammate, and I ended up finishing a tough layup. It definitely should have been an and one, but I told y'all, we got the UConn refs, they ain't rocking with me today. I was honestly surprised that we had a sizable lead. I mean, this was the best PG versus the best PG. It don't get no better than that. But that's just a testament to how hard we've been working all season. But I told y'all, man, I was starting to heat up. Had to hit Sharife with the up, you dropped something? Then I got the easy dunk on the other end. It was really over with from that point. I mean, we had about a 20-point lead. Now it was just a matter of time. Ended up hitting a step back on their backup PG. Yeah, I was a matchup nightmare for these boys. Now it had to be some thick Latinas in the crowd or something, because these boys was looking discombobulated on defense. I mean, on that fast break, they ain't even guard me when I dunked it. I mean, we can clearly tell I'm a different breed, because if I see a thick Latina in the building, boy, I'm finna try to go for 50, and ain't nobody stopping me, just like they didn't on this layup. But like what Nick Cannon shoulda did, it's time to wrap this thing up, man. I mean, we up by like 30. It was a good battle between me and Sharife. But all in all, this thing over. I got my last little bucket, and it was a tough one. Hit a turnaround, fade away, close shot. Your boy was different. I was getting in my bag now. And just like that, we got the dub. Your boy had took down two of the best players in the G League. And like a letter that's being sent to the post office, I was stamped. And on top of all that, I had another 40-point performance. Now don't get me wrong. I'm cool with dropping 40, but we got to lock in, man. We had one more game to go before the playoffs started. I was focused on getting drafted, but hey, I'm here in the G League, so I might as well try to win the ship, right? Or at least some awards. Let's maximize this as much as we can. I ended up losing my wallet before this game, so sadly, I couldn't use none of my debit cards. But luckily, I looked on the floor and found a couple dimes. Yep, straight out the gate, we was trying to go crazy. Y'all already know what we doing. We getting that ball, we trying to push that thing in transition. Hit him with a nice little hesitation move. It was nobody in the paint. And I went up for the easy off one, two-handed slam. Hopefully I can get my bounce up more in the league, because these dunks be looking kind of weak after I watch them later. But in the first quarter, I was trying to do a little bit of everything, man. I ended up talking to Cuzzo a little bit before the game, and he told me start posting up. I mean, that's what NBA scouts look for. If you a point guard that can post up, it just make your game even better. You can do more, you versatile with it. And I ended up cooking this dude with a bunch of jab steps and hit a tough contested three. They really couldn't guard me out here. And this thing was getting absolutely out of hand. I mean, it was 8-20. And I had to welcome these boys to Lonny Island. I don't know what was on their scouting report, but these boys was definitely leaving me wide open on these threes. Hey, so I kept cooking. Ended up sending that boy to the gulag, and then went to the store and got some barbecue lays. I mean, it was way too easy out here, man. Somebody need to stop me. I know I'll be talking crazy, y'all, but hey, I was still locked in. Like I said, the playoffs was coming up, so we can't take this game lightly, even if we is winning by a lot. As I get the nice dish to my teammate and he hit the corner three. But like I was saying, we got to be serious and focused. I'm trying to win a chip while I'm here, no doubt. And by the way, what's y'all favorite Pop-Tart? Because I had this dude looking stupid off the pump fake. Man, drove to the lane, hit a nice little acrobatic lay right over their center. Way too easy. I was super hot this game. Going into the third quarter, they started to make a little bit of a comeback. So you know what I had to do? I had to keep being aggressive. Asked for a screen and ended up getting another tough lay that should have been an and one. I don't know why we keep getting these UConn refs, but we need to get some better officials because they out here hacking, man. Bet you if I had an Iowa jersey on, I'd be getting every call. But speaking of Iowa, I was wide open in transition, and I pulled that thing just like I'm Kayell Clark. And just like that, I drained it. These dudes couldn't stop me anywhere on the floor. By the time the fourth quarter hit, it was the same situation as last game. We was up by like 20, and this one was about over with, as I drove and got a tough layup. But I mean, hey, we handled business this game. This was the last game before the playoffs, and we was looking strong. It was looking like everybody on the team was locked in, the rookies, the vets. All we had to do was go out and show out. Nice little Euro step, shout out to D Wade. But after that, coach decided enough was enough, and he subbed me out the game. To be honest, I thought I was gonna be out a little earlier, but it was all good. But anyway, we ended up getting the dub fairly easy in dominating fashion. I wish Cuzzo could have helped out the Chicago G League team because these boys was trash. I mean, that game wasn't that competitive at all. But as for the stats, your boy ended up dropping 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. I would say all around, I had a pretty decent game. Now the G League playoffs, them things started before the actual NBA playoffs. So I couldn't go to Cuzzo and ask him for some advice about how I should approach this. But he still gave me advice on how I should approach it in general, even though he hadn't been there yet. And he told me, just lock in on the details. It's gonna be different than the regular season. I mean, you're gonna be playing a team in a series now. And some of the vets was telling me, some of these G League guys take the playoffs very seriously. I mean, this is their chance to get called up. So they gotta show out at the next stage. And for me, I was in the same boat. I still had a chance to boost my draft stock and show these scouts what I can do. So you best believe I was fully locked in. And now, all we gotta do is go out there and execute. And after that, the NBA dream gonna come true. And just like that, it was time for the playoffs. I mean, everything we worked for this season all comes down to this moment. Now, playoffs in the G League is different. It ain't no series. It's one game, win or go home. I wasn't worried about the draft. I was just focused on getting these wins and seeing if we could end up getting the G League championship. Now, I'd be lying to y'all if I said I didn't have nerves before this game. But as soon as that tip-off happened and my teammate threw me the ball, hey, I was locked in. Can't be scared of none in these moments. Hey, it's playoff time, it's a playoff atmosphere, and our fans came out here to see us handle business. So with all that being said, hey, whoever in front of me, they gonna be in trouble all night. On the very first possession, I called ISO. I went straight at they PG and ended up getting a tough finish over they big man. It definitely should have been an and one, but hey, I ain't finna worry about the refs today. We gotta handle business. Now we came into the playoffs as the 1 seed in our conference. So that means the first game will be against the lowest seed. And I ain't gonna lie, them boys talent-wise, they couldn't match up with us, as I hit a crazy layup over their point guard in transition. But hey, we can't underestimate nobody. I mean, just because it's Sniper Gang Lonny, it don't mean these boys can't upset us. But I started off the game like any other player would want to do. I hadn't missed yet, and we had an 8-point lead already. And then I ended up hitting a tough midi, and then we was up by 10. Now I told y'all that I thought these boys couldn't match up with us, so I definitely kept attacking. I mean, I hadn't missed yet. Wouldn't you do the same if you was in my shoes? You ain't gotta lie, I already know you would. And it was a nightmare for these boys. They started to come back a little bit, but hey, once that chopper gunner activated, you gonna have to call for help. And I didn't stop there. Right after I hit the 3, I ended up getting a steal in the backcourt and got an easy dunk. I was starting to get up now. Now as the game went on, the team fought back and they was able to cut our lead down to 5. But they forgot the sprinkler systems was on. As your boy hit another 3. I'm not gonna lie, I was active on both sides of the floor the whole game, and I ended up getting a steal on somebody who shouldn't have had the ball, and then I ended up getting a poster dunk right over they big man. I was really feeling like Corey Cash this game. I'm telling y'all, it running the family. And when I wasn't facilitating, coach drew up some back screens for me, and hey, I hit this crazy up and under lob. Didn't even know I could do that. But you know, your boy kept attacking, and I was hitting all types of difficult shots. But that just goes to show you, man, every play in the playoff counts. As you can see, we got up to a big lead early, and we was basically running away with it. And I ain't gonna lie, them boys started hooping, but it just wasn't enough. As you can see, they had a ferocious dunk on the other end. Hey, but I'll be damned if I go out like that. So on the next possession, I attacked the lane, and I hit this crazy switcheroo layup. Hey, that thing had the crowd jumping afterwards. I was really tapping into a Kyrie Irving Jelly Fam type bag. But hey, you know we play that defense too. Got another steal, dumped it off to my forward man, and he got an easy dunk. And just like that, that early lead we had was starting to build up again. And I kept cooking. The coach had to call a timeout afterwards because he didn't know what was going on. They had to draw up something. But as the game went on and we reached the fourth quarter, I ain't gonna lie, man, this thing was over with. Once you get up by like 15 or 20 in the playoffs, you can kiss your chances goodbye. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I invited some thick snow bunnies to the game, and they definitely did they justice. Had these boys discombobulated on defense, and they ain't know what was going on. They was too focused on the baddies. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta attack the opposition any way possible. But on the next possession, we got the steal and I was running out in transition. There was nobody in front of me. Ended up hitting the easy lay, and just like that, that would seal the deal. Afterwards, I had to slam the ball on the ground and let these boys know, hey, this thing was over with. Coming into the second game, I wanted to take off early. Hey, I was going crazy last game, and maybe I still had some fire in me. So right off the bat, drove for an easy layup. And on the very next possession, they point guard was too little and too slow. He couldn't keep up with me, and I ended up getting an easy dunk. I'm telling y'all, I was starting to get up there now, and the defense was not expecting that. They already knew I was explosive and quick, but hey, I was playing above the rim now, and I guess they didn't mention the jump shot in the scouting report. Because I was definitely wide open on that tray ball. And on the next possession, we ended up getting the board, and I was pushing that thing in transition. I told y'all that guard was too slow, and I got the easy dunk to put us up 14-0. Then right after that, they ended up smoking one of the free throws, and I threw a crazy full court pass to hit my boy Ron in transition. That boy hit an insane tomahawk like he was young LeBron or something. Hey, you gotta love it. But I'm telling y'all, the team was clicking more than we had all season. And me, I was playing at an all-star level. I hit this spin move in transition and hit this crazy acrobatic lay. I don't even know how it went in. I was off balance. I just threw that thing up and it went in. Hey, can somebody remind me what firecrackers sound like on the 4th of July? Ah, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. Man, I know they point guard was feeling like R. Kelly this game, because he was fighting for his life. I thought he was a hockey player, because that boy was definitely on skates the whole time. But I mean, everything was going wrong for them. They point guard ended up getting a backcourt violation, and it had everybody in the arena discombobulated. I mean, look at their coach's face. I mean, dude just looked like he saw a Violet Myers video. On the next play, I did what I normally do when these females get to tripping, and I just stepped back. After that, I had a wide open mid-range jump shot, and somebody better get that defender some help. But the tragedies kept on going on for this team. The same dude who got the backcourt violation dribbled that mug straight out of bounds. And that dude was frustrated, you could tell. And at this point, we was up by 20, and hey, we was just killing these boys, man. They couldn't stop me in the paint, out the paint, Franklin Saint, walk by and make the girls faint. Hey, it didn't matter, as I got the Pop-Tart and drove to get the and one bucket. My boy Ron dapped me up after that one. Hey man, this thing was looking like it was over with. Like a snow bunny making food at a cookout. Man, these boys ain't stand a chance. And on the very next possession, I called for a pick and roll, and then I ended up rising up for another dunk. Hey, I came down awkwardly. I thought I injured myself, but it was all good. And just like that, man, we blew them boys out the water. Don't get me wrong, I was happy about the dub, but we had 2 more wins to go. Alright, so I'm going to start off the next game by giving a shout out to my boy Peter Griffin, because I drove and found my teammate for the corner 3, but now we in prime time. You see, it's the semifinals, so it's down to the last 4 teams, and hey, this team is better than both of the teams we already played, so we definitely got to lock in. But that didn't stop me from attacking. I was too quick for these boys. I was starting to drive and see nobody in the paint, which would lead to easy dunks. Y'all must think I'm joking or something. But on the very next play, I ended up doing the same thing. Drove right by the defender and got another easy dunk. It was a little baby tomahawk, but I feel like y'all still gotta count that as a mean one. But I definitely wasn't getting up like that dude just did on the other end. And after he did that, I wasn't going for nothing. Came down, called for a pick and roll, and I drove straight to the cup to get the acrobatic layup. Crazy finish. A lot of scouts tried to criticize my game because I used the pick and roll a lot, but I mean, the pick and roll will lead to easy dunks like that. But you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And on the next possession, I guess the defender's ankles was broke as I drove right by him to get the easy layup over the big man. Now it was at this point in the game where we really started to take off. I mean, we ain't jump out to an early lead like we did on the other teams, but after halftime, we definitely did that. And I was starting to get hyped, man. I felt like nobody could stop me, and my draft stock was definitely rising. I ain't want to focus on that, but you best believe it was in the back of my mind. But don't think just because we was up by 30, I was going to let up. I mean, I kept my foot on their neck the whole game. I don't care if we up by 50. Until that clock hit 0, this game ain't over. I was running in transition, seeing this defender, and y'all pray for that boy, man. Definitely sent him to the gulag, and then hit the tray ball right after. And after that, the crowd was going wild. I mean, they was already losing by a lot, and that was just icing on the cake. With 3 minutes left to go in the third, I probably hit one of the craziest layups in the game. Yeah, that thing was wild. And just like that, we got the dub. The other coach ain't even try to shake our hands. He just hit us with a quick wave and was out of there. And now, we in the finals. I don't think anybody that was watching G League basketball wanted any other finals matchup than me versus Sharife Cooper. And starting off, hey, he got the first bucket of the game. And then on the other end, I came down and got an easy dunk. Now, this was the first game where we didn't jump off to an early lead first. I mean, we was down 5, but that didn't stop the attacking though. I ended up seeing the big and weak side, and I just rose up. And just like that, I had 2 dunks already in the game, and one of them was a poster. I can't lie to y'all though, I started off the game struggling. I just couldn't find my shot. They was doing a good job of making me uncomfortable on offense. I mean, I would still get my buckets here and there, but it was not the usual start I normally have. Plus, Sharife was hitting crazy shots like this. These boys was trying to get us up out of there. After having one of the worst starts I had all season, I was benched early. And my coach told me if we want to win this game, I got to find out how to play better. So when he subbed me back in, you best believe I was on timing. Called for a pick and roll, hit a step back. Hey, you got to step up on that. Jump shot ain't going nowhere. Luckily, my team was holding their own, so they kept the game close until I got in. But, I mean, when Amani Bates shooting shots like this, it ain't much you could do about it. We had to worry about him and Sharife. I mean, they was both cooking. 1 minute he would score, and then the next minute Sharife was getting and one layups. 2-headed monster on this team. Early in the third, they still had the lead. But hey man, it was now or never. So I was gonna come off a screen, create myself, do whatever I needed to do to try to get this win. But me trying to do everything led me to get tired fast. So when that happened, I just tried to get my teammates involved. And when I called their number, them boys definitely answered, I ain't gonna lie. But this game was a grudge match, man. Next thing you know, it was 3 minutes left to go in the fourth and it was a tie game. Ended up driving and kicking, and luckily, my teammate made the right pass. But they were scoring on the other end as well. And with a 1-point lead, moments like this is what I live for. Call the ISO. Man, Sharife can't guard me. I'm the best PG in the league. And on the other end, Amani Bates got free, and he ended up hitting a clutch three-point shot to make it 84-84. And with 50 seconds left to go, I had to make something happen. Called for a pick and roll, ended up slicing right by the defense, and ended up getting a crazy finish that would put us up by 2. Everybody in the arena was going crazy. But hey, man, we still got time left. Them boys called a timeout, but it's still 44 seconds left on the clock. And in the huddle, I was just telling them, hey, all we got to do is finish. If we execute, we're going to be walking away with a championship. With 35 seconds left to go in the game, all we needed was one stop. Amani Bates ended up getting free off of a pin down. Boy had ice in his veins. He hit a clutch 3. But on the next possession with 12 seconds left, I had to shoot it. And this one was for all the marbles. Game on the line. And your boy ended up draining the 3 over 2 defenders. Whenever you call me, I will be there. Whenever you need me, I will be there. Everybody in the arena was going wild when that shot went through the basket. I wasn't going out like that. If I had to put the team on my back and carry us to the promised land, I was gonna do that. And after that, the Cavs immediately called a timeout. All we got is 9 seconds. We got to close this thing out, and we champions, man. So on the next possession, I guarded Sharife. I ain't want nobody else guarding him. They ended up inbounding the ball. I was trying my hardest not to let them get it to Sharife, but eventually they kicked it to their power forward. He passed it to Sharife, and I ended up playing some amazing defenses. I got the clutch block on him, and the clock hit 0. And just like that, your boy was solidified. I had a G League championship. After an amazing battle between me and one of the best, if not the best player in the G League, I had to dap him up. Man, we left it all on the line. He had 40 and I had 38. Great game. And what an amazing finish to the season. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit in my thoughts because that was my last G League game ever. I'll always remember everything I've been through and what it took to get here. But now, y'all boys know, it was time for the next chapter.
With the 5th pick in the NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select
Lonny Wade. Me and Wemby gonna end up teaming up. Y'all boys stay tuned, cause this rookie season about to get crazy.
Cause I know they watch. Been in the game, I ain't never stopping. If you look at the top, then you know it's dropping. Beam, I ain't playing no laser tag, and all of these they hate, they mad, but I just gotta go and chase the bag. I know, I came from the bottom, I know. I'm headed to the top, and I know. Bet I won't never flop, and I know.